Okay, y'all are here because you want to find out how to get better at coding, and I'm going to tell you. It's all about training. You got to train your ass off, really. And uh, I've been training people online for nearly 3 years now, and I get this question all the time. And I wanted to really summarize the training areas that are gonna make you a better coder. And I call them really the four training domains that are going to make you better. My boy Jay calls them the four pillars of success at coding. But yeah, here they are. Yeah, there's going to be four areas you need to train on to make yourself a better coder. And number one is going to be reading and studying. Of course, you need some knowledge to begin coding. You need the fundamentals. But as you move forward, you need to nail down the fundamentals and have them locked in. And then you're going to need to study documentation, learn the documentation, and you're going to need to go into specialization areas, reading about certain, whether they be libraries, APIs, what have you. When you go into a specialization, like if you're going to be, database, gaming, web, whatever it's going to be, you need to study the hell out of that specialization. So yeah, reading and studying are an invaluable and important part, but you can't just stop there. Just having the knowledge is not enough. Knowledge without application makes you a fool. You got to read, study, and apply, which is where a lot of these other pillars come in. And the next pillar is exercises. Yeah. And this ain't talking about push-ups or sit-ups or burpees. Shout out to the burpees king. What this entails is programming exercises, programming assignments. And what they are typically kind of short, focused prompts, prompting you to create algorithms to solve many times impractical problems. But this is super valuable in building algorithmic programming skill. And how do you train in this arena? There's a lot of sites out there. There are Code Wars, LeetCode, HackerRank, and many others. There's even coding competitions out there that allow you to practice algorithmic skill. Don't believe the people who say LeetCode, Code Wars, whatever is a waste of time. These build important skills toward mastery in coding. Being a quality algorithmic programmer makes you generally adaptable to whatever specialization you want to get into. It is super, super valuable. And yeah, you can learn algorithmic skills elsewhere, but when you focus on them, you're going to level up faster. So don't believe the haters who say, LeetCode's a waste of time, Code War's a waste of time. They don't know what they're talking about. Ridiculous. It's kind of like, yeah, you can build muscle strength by not lifting weights and doing other stuff. But when you lift the weights in a focused manner, you're going to build strength faster. It's just pretty damn obvious. And when you focus on doing coding exercises, you're going to build algorithmic skill faster. So you can't just do it alone. You've got to incorporate these other pillars, but exercises are super, super important. Next, projects. And people kind of say, either you do exercises or you do projects. No, man, you do both. They both kind of complement to build a more complete coder. You can't get by without doing projects. Coders build things. That's what we do. And when you get on the job, you're going to be building something, creating something. So a way to practice building something is to build something, straight up. So just start small. A tic-tac-toe game, a checkers game, a text-based blackjack game. Start small and progressively build. Come up with ideas. Do graphical stuff but I think games are a good way to start doing little projects, like a simple guessing game or something like that. There's so many ways to get a kind of a foot in the door. And then as you get better at doing projects, do progressively harder projects. But you gotta have that thing of starting something and completing it. Like, that is vital, because there's so many coders who start things, get halfway, don't finish them. Going through the process of idea creation, initial excitement, going through the muck and completing something, it is super, super valuable. And so projects are definitely an important training domain. So yeah, read, study, exercises, projects. There is one more, and it may not seem obvious, but what it is multiple choice questions / code tracing. Needs a little bit of explanation here. What I mean here is multiple choice testing, interestingly enough. There's a lot of tests online out there where you can test your knowledge in a multiple choice manner. And typically, the most effective ones are going to be the multiple choice questions that involve code tracing specifically. And that's actually what I'm talking about mostly here. Some knowledge questions are pretty good, but the multiple choice questions that involve code tracing, they test your skill at code tracing. And code tracing is a massive piece of a training regimen. Learning how to read other people's code and your code. Learning how to read code fast and effectively is a super, super important skill, because you're going to be doing your own projects. You're going to be working with colleagues, and the ability to digest code in a really efficient and effective manner, it's going to give you a leg up. The faster you can sit down and read a page of code and understand what's going on, the better, like straight up. So these code tracing and multiple choice questions really give you that skill. With these questions, you're typically going to be reading kind of esoteric, kind of impractical code, really essentially poorly written code, but it'll train you in that skill of reading code. So when you read poorly written code, you can kind of read better written code easier. It's kind of like if you lift heavy weights, you can lift lighter weights easier, right? This is, obvious stuff. But it translates, the idea translates right here. Yeah. So here it is, folks. You want to get better at coding? Study, train in these 4 areas. Reading and studying, get the knowledge. Exercises, get in the gym, practice the algorithmic skill. Projects, see something through, see a vision through, and go through the beginning to completion phase. And multiple choice and code tracing, test yourself objectively and see how you stack up. 4 training domains, and with that, I'm out.